Hey everybody, won't it always bored, never boring. So today I'm going to do something I very rarely do. I'm going to talk about a crowdfunding campaign. Previously, I've really only spoken about the HeroQuest HasLab campaign and the Moonstone Kickstarter, both of which I am deeply interested in. Besides those exceptions, I tend to keep one eye on crowdfunding projects, but I'm never compelled to back them or follow them that closely. However, today Archon Studios has launched a campaign that is much more interesting to me. Masters of the Universe Fields of Eternia, a He-Man miniatures game. Not gonna lie, the gut reaction was to throw my wallet at the computer screen. But before I get overcome with the giddy excitement of something I loved from my youth making its way to the tabletop, let's take a look at what this is all about. A few things to clear up first. 1. This crowdfunding campaign is running on Gamefound, not Kickstarter. A lot of people will call it a Kickstarter campaign in the way a lot of people will call a vacuum cleaner a Hoover, but Gamefound is the platform, not Kickstarter. 2. This is the campaign for Fields of Eternia from Archon Studios. This is an entirely separate game from the Masters of the Universe game that Cool Mini or Not is going to launch this year. Different games, different companies, and most importantly, different territories. Licensing issues means Cool Mini or Not's game isn't available in Europe, while Archon's isn't available in America. 3. Yes, this game is the work of Archon Studios, a company created from Prodos Games. A lot of people have concerns with Prodos, who were responsible for the Alien vs Predator board game. There were a lot of problems with the Kickstarter for that game, and a lot of people are wary of giving the company any more money. Personally, I've never had problems with Prodos. I only ever bought their AVP products at retail, they replaced damaged products immediately when needed, and we even collaborated on one occasion with them sending me free products to review. So for me, Archon's involvement isn't something I'm worried about, but you will hear a very different story from other people, so caveat emptor. And what is this game anyway? It's a board game with miniatures for 1 to 6 players, so yes, there are solo, co-op and competitive modes of play. It's an overland adventure game where you move your group of heroes around Eternia, exploring, fighting monsters, gaining equipment and skills, and ultimately achieving some kind of objective. At first blush, it reminds me of the old World of Warcraft coffin box board game. Archon themselves describe it as an adventure-driven tactics and strategy game where you recruit troops, complete quests, and collect artifacts to conquer Eternia. I'm not going to go into the gameplay here in this video. Obviously I haven't played the game and there are plenty of videos on the Gamefound project page that explain in great depth what the game is all about. Instead, I'm just going to focus on some of the campaign details. As already mentioned, this game is only available in the UK and select EU countries, and there are only 2, well technically 3 pledge levels. There's a basic pledge level for €99, which gets you the base game and all of the stretch goals. Then there's the all-in pledge for €179, which gets you the base game, the stretch goals and the 2 expansions. If you're in the UK, you have to select a special pledge level which doesn't include VAT, and then you're charged VAT upon delivery, but it amounts to the same thing. You're paying €179 plus shipping for a product with an estimated delivery of March 2022. That delivery date seems optimistic, but who knows. Anyway, what are the incentives for dropping that much money in advance? The project page suggests priority shipping and a 30% discount on retail pricing, but the main reason seems to be the game is going to be dead in the water at retail, because the project is packed with exclusive content that will never go to stores. In fact, of all the things that are available during the campaign, it appears that only the core game is going to retail. Here's a list of things that aren't going to retail, but which may be available at trade shows. There are 2 expansions, one introducing Hordak and the Evil Horde as a playable faction, and another adding King Hiss and the Snake Men as a playable faction. There are 14 stretch goal characters, one being released each day. You may think that those might not be major characters, but they are. There's Manny Faces, Buzz-Off, Whiplash, Mechaneck, Tongue Lasher, just really cool characters that fans are going to want. If they reach a funding goal of €800,000, there's a special Castle Grayskull Dice Tower, and there's also an exclusive Orko miniature that is only available to those who pledge within the first 48 hours of the campaign. Unfortunately for completionists, even if they get involved within the first 48 hours, they still won't get everything for this game because Archon released several limited edition miniatures in the run-up to the campaign. Some of them are still available to buy now, but He-Man on Battlecat and Skeletor on Panther are both sold out, and at the moment it looks like those were the only miniatures for Battlecat and Panther we are getting. This is of course always the problem with crowdfunding campaigns. You have to have those big incentives to get people to put down money well in advance, and that often means exclusives, but making so much exclusive really has the potential to harm the game at retail, and perhaps prevent it from ever gaining success beyond the initial pre-order period. And where does that leave me? Some viewers may know earlier in the year I broke my long-standing pledge not to back crowdfunding campaigns when I put down my money for the Moonstone expansion. The big question is, am I going to do it again? Will the lure of owning a Masters of the Universe board game be enough to make me break my own rules for a second time? I don't think so. From what I have seen of the game, it's not really looking like something I'm going to want to play all that much. Really, I just want those miniatures. I want them to play miniatures agnostic skirmish games with. And really, I think I would have preferred it if Archon had been planning a skirmish game, something like Marvel Crisis Protocol, something where I could just buy the miniatures and play out the epic battles I created on my bedroom floor with He-Man action figures as a kid. Of course, all those exclusives, all those characters I would love to own, make backing seem like the obvious thing to do. It's the only way to get those characters after all. But do I really want to pay £150 plus shipping for 38 miniatures? And yes, I know that in a full pledge there are over 100 miniatures, but 60 of them are little busts representing generic troops. So, no. I don't begrudge anybody backing the game. I'm happy for the people who are happy, and I hope the game is successful for everybody involved, but this isn't for me. If I could have got all this stuff at retail in my own time, that's a different matter. But Archon have ensured that can't happen, and that means there's very little chance of this game ever finding its way onto my shelf. I won't back now, and I won't buy later. At the time of recording this video, the game is already funded and raking in cash. Archon aren't going to miss my €180, and I'm happy to see it doing well. If you want to check out the campaign yourself, and remember you need to move fast to get that Orko miniature, I will put the link in the video description below, but be aware that's for information purposes only. I am not endorsing the product, and I am not collaborating with Archon in any way. And as always, do feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, because that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider pressing the like button. If you've really enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.